On this week's Park Life BattleLab update, I want to cover three things. The first is a massive event that just recently happened on the Innovation Park and the BattleLab ecosphere. The second was a business engagement meeting with the head of safer communities of BCP Council. And the third is how to use Matterport software and the MetaQuest VR goggles and how easy it was for me to use and my insights into that. On the first point about a recent event, I saw loads of people, maybe 50, 60 plus people coming to Dorset, staying in Dorset and spending their money in the local economy. So my business partner, Tim, said to me, Gordon, can you share this on social media? So I said, okay, so what's the name of the event? Oh, he says, can't really use the title because it gives away kind of the methods and the technologies. Oh, that's great then. So how about the organizers? There's a bit of sensitivities around that. Okay, that's going to be challenging. What about the people that came from around the country and all those different organizations? Maybe it's not. So, okay, so here goes. So something happened on the park, organized by some organization, and loads of people that I can't mention came to the park, but spent a load of money around the hotels and bars and restaurants in Bournemouth. So, hey, that's great for the local economy, isn't it?
Actually, I was able to get some video released from the event, and we have a couple of people saying a few words about the facilities, what they thought about the event, and actually the fact that this can become a place of, a centre of excellence for skills and knowledge transfer.
Hi, I'm Neil Matthews. I'm from the Radio Frequency Technical Advisory Group for law enforcement agencies and partners. BattleLab has been excellent. I think what it offers is a training environment for individuals where we can do it as a group. So we've been into the mainly briefing rooms to do presentations where we've done training or upskilling. We've then been able to use the breakout rooms to develop team ethics and tradecraft, and then we've been able to exercise against locations within the BattleLab that have given us realistic problems to solve. I would say I think the BattleLab is at the heart of technology and allows us to quickly engage with the community and other partners in a space where we can discuss openly problems and opportunities. So I'd just like to say thank you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Howell. I'm from Dorset Police. I work within the traditional forensics sector, and I've come here today and been really impressed with the way in which lots of different teams and lots of different organisations have come together and collaborated. To be able to see people from practitioner level right up through to strategic level managers collaborating on a subject area that is different to me, but I've learned a lot. And actually I've made some contacts, so today that's really, really useful for me, really, really beneficial. And being able to come together in one place like the BattleLab, make it a space where people can come together and share those things has been really, really beneficial and insightful.
It's another effing day. F for phone, F for foundry. Match made in heaven.
Event a couple of years ago and started
Kimsel sits on one of the business engagement boards by BCP Council. And in one of the meetings, there was a lot of concern raised by local businesses, agencies about some of the antisocial behaviour happening on our streets, making it harder to retain staff and attract staff to our business premises because of harassment, street begging, drug taking in nearby areas, and even people sleeping in business doorways. So subsequently, we had a meeting with BCP Council with some other organisations over at the Foundry, and we met Sophie, the head of Safer Communities from BCP Council. She told us that the council funds 7.5 CSAS officers who are similar to PCSOs from Dorset Police, but they don't have the dispersal right to move people on. But their key role is in evidence gathering. So Sophie gave us 2 email addresses that we can report non-street-based antisocial behaviour to ASB team at bcpcouncil.gov.uk, and also street-based antisocial behaviour to CSAS at bcpcouncil.gov. The most important thing is to make a note of the date, the time, and any descriptions of the people involved. So reporting to BCP Council is really, really important because we live in a data-driven world, and from the information that they collect, they can direct resources to where it's most needed. Now, a lot of people will say, just reporting goes nowhere. It's no point reporting it to the police because nothing ever happens. But I want to recall something that I did do that happened in Southbourne when there was a spate of lead thefts. Even people sitting on door porches, stealing stuff at 6 o'clock at night. People just weren't reporting. So what I did, even though we saw it on Facebook, they just wouldn't report it to the police. So I used Twitter. Every time something happened, I posted the details on Twitter, and I would copy Dorset Police, but also the PCC, Police and Crime Commissioner at that time. And I kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. And I've heard firsthand from the PCC that said, Gordon, Dorset Police did not know, what to make of you. They probably thought you were a bit of a troublemaker and didn't know what was happening. They weren't used to using Twitter at that time. But actually, subsequently, the PCC talked to the Dorset Police, who looked into it further, and actually, at the end, somebody was arrested for all that lead theft. Now, we don't know what happened, whether they got fined or sent to prison or whatever, but that's something that's lacking in communications post-event. But hopefully, BCP Council and what Sophia said, that they know they have a project ahead of them to improve their communications to the local area and local businesses. But from what we heard on the day, it was very, very encouraging, and that there's a lot happening behind the scenes that we don't get to hear about. So please remember those 2 email addresses if you need to report any antisocial behaviour. I'm still here after another week trying to get this thing onto the Wi-Fi. Use a strong password, they say. Yeah, it just makes life harder with this stupid virtual keyboard and then having to lift your headset up to look at your piece of paper with your password that's written down. Hey ho, welcome to the metaverse. As part of a recent event on the park, I had to configure one of those MetaQuest 2 VR headset from Facebook. And it's really, really interesting, really easy to use. And I did a test little VR tour at home. So all you had to do was download the Matterport software, stand in the room, click record, and then take a series of photographs turning around in a 360 degrees, and then go from 3 yards further into the corridor into the next room. And it was really, really easy to do a simple 360 VR tour of your house by just using that single application. So using that Matterport software and the VR goggles, it was very easy to do a recording of one of the floor plans in the BattleLab or even in one of the office blocks, and then use that VR headset to do some simulation or training on, I don't know, maybe his entry into that building and so on. So it's really useful for that kind of use case.